Hi there, this is Jonathan Ginsberg. I'd like to talk to you about bankruptcy and student loans. If you've read any of the news magazines or even newspapers, you probably have seen that student loan debt has eclipsed credit card debt as the largest amount of indebtedness that Americans owe. It's billions and billions of dollars. And I think part of this is that a number of years ago, Congress passed some laws and they established Sallie Mae. And basically, student loans are guaranteed by the government. So what you have is a bunch of 18 and 19-year-olds who want to go to college. They sign some papers, not really thinking about what's going to be when they're 26 or 28 or 30. The student loans are issued at maybe $50,000, $60,000, $100,000 or more, and they get out of college. There's a short window where they have a little bit of a break, I think 6 months of a deferment, and then those student loans come due. And if you don't have a job, or if you don't have a job making very much money, then that student loan debt becomes a real problem. And the other thing that Congress did was they made student loans very difficult to get rid of. Within the actual student loan process, there are the program itself, the programs I should say, there are some grounds to discharge student loans outside of bankruptcy if there's extreme hardship, but again, very difficult to do. And within bankruptcy, you cannot discharge student loans except in cases of extreme hardship, which basically are very difficult to do. So essentially, if you have student loan debt and you file Chapter 7, that student loan debt will simply flow right through your Chapter 7. It will remain your debt after bankruptcy, and you'll have to continue making payments on it. And really, the main reason people file Chapter 7, if they have a lot of student loan debt, is to get rid of their other debts, their credit card debts, so they can go ahead and pay their student loan debt. In Chapter 13, student loan debts are not dischargeable either. You can choose to pay some of that student loan debt in your Chapter 13, but the balance will basically remain after the Chapter 13 is over, plus accrued interest. Or you can say, I'm going to pay the student loan debts directly while I'm in Chapter 13 and continue making payments, but they basically will not go away. So I get people calling me all the time, I can't pay this, I don't make enough money. And right now, unfortunately, student loan debt is not going to be dischargeable unless you have extreme medical hardship. And they really mean extreme. In other words, you're on your deathbed, you have some terrible disease that you'll not be able to work. And Congress has really made it very difficult. There's been some talk about changing the student loan rules so that student loans from certain types of institutions, vocational schools, maybe that have poor placement records or that close down, those may be dischargeable. I think we should keep our eye on that, but right now, as a big picture rule, student loan debt is not going to be dischargeable. So you're going to be stuck with it. If that's a big problem that you've got, I might be able to help you anyway, just in terms of let's figure out a way to get rid of some other debts so you'll have the money to pay the student loan. But don't expect that you're going to be able to go into bankruptcy court, get rid of your student loans, and move on down the road. That's probably not going to happen unless there is extreme hardship. And this really applies not just to the student, the now grown-up student, but if it's parental student loans, same thing. If you sign for your child and your child is not making the payments, you cannot discharge that debt just because you're older or currently retired. There's got to be a really strong reason, and that's usually not sufficient those reasons are not sufficient, being older or being retired. It's usually got to be something medical or something really extreme. And again, it puts a lot of burden on people if they have a lot of student loan debt. So if you're facing that and you want to talk about your options, I'm happy to chat with you. We can talk about how to maybe clear up some other stuff so that you can deal with these student loans. My phone number is 770-393-4985. Of course, keep posted on my blog at the BK Lawyer/the BK blog, and I'll update you if there's any change in the rules regarding student loan dischargeability. And again, feel free to call me or email me. I'm happy to chat with you about this. Again, Jonathan Ginsberg, 770-393-4985. Thanks.